Hi everyone, welcome back. So we're in mid-October now, it's getting cold, so I'm just out in the garden, just having a little potter around. I've been digging over some bits, moving some things around, and I spotted a couple of little things which I want to show you. Could be quite interesting, so I'll spin you around and show you what I'm up to today. So I've just been out here, I've harvested the sweet corn. It wasn't much of a harvest, so most of it went to the rabbits, but I've just been digging over a little bit down there, moving some things around. All my trees are fine on the benches. I've moved the fruit trees here. I've got a new little shed thing. I've just spotted, this is what I wanted to show you. I'll zoom you in on it. Okay, so this little oak tree, self-seeded itself there, probably a squirrel's buried it. It's only been there for about a year, maybe a little bit longer. It's lucky it hasn't been dug up or anything. It's been wedged in between that and the big plant pot that was here, so it's got to be moved, but would make a nice little bonsai tree. It's already got some lower branches and big strong leader. Could get some movement in that now and pot it up, not sure yet. And there was another little tree sprung up somewhere which I wanted to show you. It's a right mud bath here at the moment, so doing what I can to stop making a mess, but there's the garlic that we just planted, and I've dug over a little bit more of this, de-weeded it, and I've just spotted a little tiny hazelnut tree. So there it is. Almost dug it up, but then I thought, make an interesting video, we can dig that up, put it in a little pot. It's quite a tough little thing. I think it's probably been pretty trampled on here. So we'll see if we can dig that up, get that in a pot, get that little oak tree up as well. So we're going to dig it up. I'm just going to use a fork. Whether it lives or dies is not really that important. I'm just going to dig it up because I don't want it there. But I'll put it in a little pot and hope that it survives. And I'll try and dig it up in one piece so that we don't break too many roots. So I'll have to go quite deep underneath it. Yeah, I'll just kind of wiggle it loose and hope that it doesn't snap too many of its roots. Go all the way around it. Just loosen off the soil around its roots. Yeah, it should be pretty free now, so try and get underneath it now. Shake off some soil. There it is, in one piece I think. So I'll take that into the greenhouse in a minute. I'll go dig up the oak and we'll have a better look at it. Okay, so we're going to try and get the oak up now. I just know this is going to have a really big taproot and it's probably not going to come up in one piece, but we never know because the soil on top's quite soft. So the roots might have stayed in this rich soil at the surface. So same thing again. Try and go all the way around it. and just work the soil loose. I don't really want to have to move that, so I should be able to do it. Some sort of 3 angles. So just keep wiggling it around. You'll see when it's loose. It's loose now. Didn't hear any snaps. So normally what I do once I've got it loose is then just break away the surface soil. Just break it up a bit. And then try and get your fork right underneath it. Sort of pry it upwards. There you go. Try and bash some of this soil off. So there's that. I didn't see any massive tap roots anywhere. So I don't know what they're going to be like in there, but we'll have a look. Probably best just to put it in a pot and keep all that on there for now. Then it can overwinter and we can do some better work on it in the spring, but no, I'll probably chip it all off and do it now. But I'll take it in the greenhouse and we'll have a look. Okay, so we're in the greenhouse and we've got our little hazelnut tree. That looks like I've got all the roots of that. I'm not sure on the oak whether I've snapped something, but it's got 2 chances. I'm not really too bothered if it lives or dies, so if it lives, that's good. It can be a nice little tree in the future. If not, then I've got plenty of oaks anyway. But this one should make quite a nice little tree. It's got a nice bend in its trunk. We could put more wire on and bend it back up that way. It's quite soft still. But first I'm going to get it in some sort of pot. This is just clay soil that's on here, so I'll probably try and get rid of some of that. We'll see how we go. Okay, so I'm going to try and get rid of some of the soil off of it. It's quite difficult because it's quite clumpy. It tends to snap the roots if you're not careful. It just comes off in a big chunk. So I'm just kind of squeezing it and breaking it up. There's my pokey tool. So I could just put it in a pot like that, but if I do that and it survives, that bit will be wet all the time compared to the rest of the pot. This bit in the middle will just stay wet and possibly rot the roots. So I'm just going to chip it all off and see what we've got, and then put it in its pot. Let's see if it survives the winter. I can keep it in the greenhouse if I need to. I've got a fair amount of root, but not a huge amount. I didn't feel the taproot actually snap, so maybe there isn't one. Right, so I've got majority of the soil off. I'm just going to leave it at that and apply it like that. It's weird the way it's grown down here, but I guess it either makes it ugly or it adds character, depending on your point of view. So I could bend it up like that and have like a weird 90-degree bend there, or later on we can take some roots off and go further down to see what we've got. But like I said, for now I'm just going to get it in a pot. What I am going to do is chop off that long top bit because it's annoying me. So I'll just cut it back to this next set of buds. There's another bud there. It's got some nice branching already down there. Nice little tree. Now with the hazel, that was growing in the better soil over there, so I'll chip away until I find the base of the trunk sort of thing, and then I'll just leave the rest and get it in a pot. So I'll just leave all this for now. The roots aren't too bad, it's got a fair amount. It does have a little bend in it already, which we could emphasise. Bend it further that way and then bend it back up. It's got new buds just waiting down here. There'll be future branches. So it's quite a healthy looking little tree. It's very stubby, it's got quite thick. I think it's been in there a while. When I say a while, probably a year max. Maybe 2 for the oak, or in its second year. Anyway, I'll clear up and then we'll get them potted and we'll see what they look like. So I'm just having a look at the little hazelnut tree, and the root's very strange, kind of goes down and then back around. So that's the taproot, that thick one that goes back up there. So next year I'll probably cut that off, but for now, I think I'm just going to put it in a little flower pot like that. We've got roots further up, so as soon as we've got a bit more growth in these roots, we can chop that one off and eliminate that problem. But it's fine for now. Put it in a little pot. I won't cut or prune any roots or anything. And the oak tree, same thing again. Weird, this is the taproot. It's not very long, but it's there. And I don't think I've snapped it because it's got roots coming off the bottom. But this is where it goes down at a funny angle there. So I'm not quite sure what's going on, so I'm just going to plant it like that for now. And probably just in a plant pot again. I won't cut any roots. So I'll go find a couple of suitable pots. Okay, so I'm going to do the hazelnut first. And I think that sort of size pot should be fine. We'll let it grow nice and strong in there for a bit. Not too worried about planting angle. So I'm just going to put some soil in the bottom. Try and make sure the roots are spread out. And then kind of hold it at the angle I want, which is about there. And fill it in. Kind of tap it in and poke it in as you go. Make sure it all goes around the roots and doesn't create any big air spaces. And just gently firm it down. And that can stay in that pot until we decide to do something else with it. So I'm not going to water it because the soil's really wet. I'll just put that somewhere in the greenhouse for now, and then we'll do the oak. So that could be quite an interesting tree at some point. We can expose more of the trunk and use that angle that we got on the bottom there. It's probably going to need quite a big pot. It's got a thick root coming right down here. So ideally I want to bury it all the way down. So I'll try and find something for that. Alright, so I found this one. It's all I've got really is big, either this size or smaller, but that should be fine. Just about. And I'll just plant it so it's straight for now. So I'll just put a little layer of soil on the bottom of the pot. Same as usual really. You've seen me do this so many times, you're probably fed up with it. So I always put a little layer on the bottom for the roots to get straight into. And then I'm going to have to mound or expose that bit because it won't quite fit. Unless I put this pot's got a funny lump in the middle, like a bulge. It's meant to be so that it drains really well and stuff. Yeah, but the only problem is I want to put that root right on top of it, so I might be able to put it in sort of at an angle like that. Slightly to one side. That should be fine. And then I'll just hold it in place and then fill in around it again. And just make sure the roots don't get all scrunched up in one spot. They're all spread out. I'll fill it up a bit more just to cover the roots there. I'm in a bit of a rush because we're running out of light. Keep checking the camera, still looks okay. It is really getting quite dark now and I can hardly see. And the camera's got better eyes. So that's the little oak. Again, I'm not going to water it because the soil's just soaking wet. All I did was mix up the clay soil that came off the oak with the compost and grit and stuff that was already on the seed tray, where I've been emptying out pots and stuff. It's not really that important, the soil at the moment. As long as it's wet and it can hold moisture. Big old tractor just went past. Yeah, so fertiliser and stuff, I mean, they do need it with growing in pots, but when they're young they'll be fine with just soil. Compost, soil, whatever you've got, as long as you can make it drain okay. Add some grit, add some sand. Try and make more drainage in the pot, keep it off the wet ground so it drains through. In the summer, make sure they're watered and stuff. Okay, so where's the other one? Where did I put it? Here it is. So we've got two new additions. I'll bring you in and show you them a bit better detail. Okay, so I'll show you the little hazelnut first. Kind of a bit of an angle in there, that's just how it ended up. That's sort of the way it wanted to be, flat with the roots. So that's fine. It's quite cool. Nice stubby little tree. It'll grow like mad next year, now that it's there. It'll have more light and nutrients. And the little oak tree. The root, that bulgy bit's only just under the surface there, but that'll be fine. We'll sort that out next year and we'll do some root work. See, we've had a frost already, it's got the edge of that leaf. Actually, we've already had 3 frosts. It got down to -2 the other night. And the coldest it got in the greenhouse was exactly 0. Anyway, so that's them 2 potted up. Okay everyone, it's almost completely dark now, so I'm going to leave it there for today. It's getting really cold too. So there's the 2 little trees behind me there. The little oak and the little hazelnut. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you're all good, and I'll see you on the next one.